Welcome back to ReZero Anime Review, episode number 69. We're here reviewing the 61st episode series, Liliana Masquerade. Yep, that is the name of this Liliana. It adapts from a few pages in chapter 3 and like the entirety of chapter 4. Like, pretty much the whole episode is from chapter 4. And only the post-credit scene is from a couple pages into chapter 3. So we start with Lillian's backstory, like how she got where she is now. Now, the outfit she wears in the anime, which by the way, they did not change her outfit of the anime. She did wear a different top at first. She later lost that top. So, okay, so she was part of this group of like traveling performers. And yeah, I think it was owned by her parents. And I think it's explained in the book that she was with them for a while, and then by the time she turned 13, well, because her father did not want to go to a city to perform, because, it's going to show by a showman. I'm like, really? I'm sure that they would allow him to perform. So, she didn't like it very much. She dumped one of her parents, stole her mom's guitar. Yeah, the guitar she has, she took that from her mom. And then she proceeded to travel on her own. And apparently, this journey she went on, this lasted for 9 years. So that means, it's kind of explained in the anime that if in fact that she started out as 10 and then she became 13 when she left, like the night she was 13. So that means by the time you see her in present day, she is roughly 22. She doesn't look 22. No. Also, they have this thing where she just goes to various towns. At first, didn't like her singing. She basically is struggling. At one point, she runs to her parents where they got a brand new baby and she just avoids them. Yeah. Just pokes 2 holes in a bag so she can see through it and have the bag of apples in her hand. The apples are in her arms. And presumably she ate them off screen. And at some point, she basically is on the verge of collapse because apparently she spends her money on food. Which, fine for her. Yeah, she didn't have like this other top she wore, but she got rid of that and basically went with this outfit here. Mostly put the same outfit she had when she was a kid, when she was younger, but for some reason she doesn't exactly have a growth spurt per se. Despite, again, she looks like a little girl. She's actually, according to light novel, presumably she is like 22 years old. That's presuming anyways, but there's no definitive proof about that. So, and then where she falls in the river, gets a song, she gets very popular, and it leads to present day, where Priscilla survives being sliced up by Sirius. Yep. And then she manages to get past it, and they come about love, and, well, also during the course of this, Priscilla is losing pieces of her jewelry. She loses, this fight, she loses her entire necklace, including her, basically, her necklace she wears in the cover. Yeah, Sirius destroys it about, including her hairpin. Yes, and it's also revealed that Priscilla was married 8 times. Well, Sirius married once. I'm like, there was some lucky guy she found, basically, to fall in love, because Priscilla is a beautiful woman. No denying that. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. And they argue back and forth, and of course you have Liliana where she gets to the top, and the tower comes off while basically she's singing, and somehow it gets people out of the little mind control that she's in, Sirius' mind control. And the tower, thanks to Sirius, basically her going insane over the fact that her singing is overriding her mind control, she proceeds to collapse the tower she's on, and Priscilla proceeds to actually, she defeats Sirius. She slices her up, and she then falls off the bridge that they're on, the drawbridge, and she falls in the water. Liliana falls in the water, and then, of course, the time people go after her, Priscilla basically says some phrase to turn off the fire. She does say her sword that she uses here, that on the cover here, she uses that in the anime, is that her sword burns what she wants to burn and what she wants to cut. At one point, prior to her being cut, apparently, Sirius just brings the little girl she kidnapped once before, once again. So, Priscilla runs up, slices right at them. So, she frees the little girl. And, of course, Sirius gets cut. That's when she falls in the water. And people chase after Liliana, who fell in the water. Of course, she turns on the flames. And then she's found by the man who's probably her biggest fan, Kenda, who is the de facto leader of the city. And she falls asleep, basically. She's not going to die. And then the post-credits scene is this. So, we finally cut to Subaru, the star of the series, where he's explaining to Regulus, oh yeah, you know your name in my world is actually part of his name after your name comes from the name Stars. And explains also what happened with Poltergeist, and his is part of the constellation Leo, and means Little King, also means Lionheart, and also his ability, which is definitely true, that he actually can stop time. He just not invincibly just stop time in his body. And Regulus apparently is not interested, so proceeds to attack him more. And then the episode, and then the last thing we see is Amelia running to the church where Regulus's wives are, and basically she's going to try to free them from Regulus. I'm guessing this is setting up the very next episode. It is weird that we go back. Now, the last episode ended with this little revelation with... Actually, just for the credits, the last episode, we ended with this revelation with the whole thing of, like, Regulus, basically. He's, excuse me. Where, like, Regulus, his name comes from the star thing, which they mentioned in the last episode. Before the credits of last episode, they had that scene end there, and then the post-credits of this scene picks up where that last scene left off. So, the post-credit scene from last episode is where this episode picked up. Okay, fine. So, my guess is that next week's episode will probably go through Chapter 3. Because Book 4 is done. Yes. I definitely do think Chapter 2 is done. Excuse me, Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is, like, they adapt that from start to finish. The whole chapter is completed. So, for Book 19, here's what's been adapted so far. Chapter 1, the prologue has been fully adapted. Excuse me. I would probably say that they still need to finish adapting Chapter 2. Well, excuse me, Chapter 1. Yes, Chapter 1 needs to finish. It's got a little bit left. So, I'd say that Chapter 3 finished the next episode, and maybe the following episode may finish this book. Who knows? But in case you're curious, though, we have exactly 5 more to go for the whole season. And I heard a report released recently, an article that stated that last week's episode took a year and a half to make. One episode took a year and a half to make. A single episode that was 23 minutes. That could probably explain the reason why that after 8 episodes they said to take a break after that period of time. My guess is that's probably the reason why the episode was not ready yet. If that's the case, then why... I'm guessing it's probably the reason why they delayed it is because that episode wasn't finished yet. Yeah, that's probably the reason for the delay, because my guess is that White Studio, they must have been on a crunch deadline, but they had already completed at that point probably about, I'd say the first 8 episodes were completed already. So that's the reason why they released first, and then they delayed it. Just give the rest of these episodes more time to complete. That is probably my guess anyways, would probably happen, is that the episodes, this half, like, do I think 9 was completed? I don't think it was any mention of, like, how long that took, but I think the reason is I think 10 took the longest to do. That's probably for the delay, because it probably wasn't finished yet. That was probably the reason for the announce of the delay between episodes, because of episode 10. That's presumed anyways. I think, like, this episode in particular, I don't think this will receive a delay. I don't think it took as long as probably the other episodes did, but we'll find out. Did I think it would take 18 months to work on a single episode for this one? No. Last episode, I can kind of buy it. Given how much that happens last episode, I can kind of buy that. Yep. But yeah, not much to say about this one. But now I'm up to date until tomorrow, which tomorrow is just Dr. Stone. And that's it for tomorrow. Yep. So next up is Firene. Yep. I'm going to start watching this anime next. And expect to hear my thoughts on it soon. How many episodes to cover, you'll find out and see, okay? But see you next video. Bye.